Hello and welcome guys to another video. Today we have a track guide of Spa, so let's jump straight into it. Coming into the first corner, you want to start braking just before or beside that 100-meter board on the left. A bit of a later apex to try and open up the exit. As you see here, you want to really straight line the exit as much as possible. As you see another angle of the apex there, because the exit of this corner is so important because you won't be on the brakes again until the end of the camel straight. Here you can use that exit curbing, but don't use the sausage curb because I find that slows you down a bit. And now try and rev out the car as much as you can coming into a Rouge now. So use all the curbing on the left here. It's quite flat and the track limits are quite lenient, so you can use quite a lot of curb on the entry. On this right hander here, you can use a little bit of curbing in some cars. Some cars you can't use any of the curbs, so just take that with a bit of caution. On Raidillon, you can use all the curbing on the apex as you see there. Just try and minimise your steering inputs for Rouge and Raidillon to really allow you to have the most straight line speed on the camel straight as we see here. Coming into this right hander, you want to start braking at the start of this curbing on the left as you see here. Hard braking down into second gear using all this curbing on the right hand side here. Most cars will allow you to use this curbing. Then on the left here, use a little bit of the curbing. Some cars it really unsettles the car and some cars it doesn't, so just be careful with that curb. Into this right hander, you just need to lift a little bit on entry, a later apex as you see here. Don't use too much of the green runoff on the apex because it can unsettle some cars because it's so high. Exit curbing, you can use all that runoff there. Track limits are quite lenient now. Coming into the hairpin, you want to start braking at the curbing on the left here where that starts. You want to go deep, hit that first apex where that green curb is there. You then go deep into the corner, lift a little bit and bring it back in for the second apex, which is around about here. And just try and open up the exit as much as you can here. And then you can use this exit curb. Don't use the runoff because it's very slippery. Just use the exit curbing here. Coming into the left-hander, you want to start braking around where the tyre marks start on the curbing on the right. Kind of hard because there isn't any braking boards. On the left, just use a little bit of the curbing. I find using the green runoff on the apex unsettles the car too much. Use all this exit on the exit here. You can use all that runoff. As long as you keep a tyre on the red and yellow curbing, I think you can use as much runoff as you like. This is the braking point for Pouhon. It's around halfway down the curb. There isn't any braking boards again. Here's the first apex. You can get a little bit closer to the curb. I go a bit wide unfortunately, but you can get a little bit closer to the curb. Let it go out wide and use that curbing on the exit. And then just try and minimise your steering input and open up this left-hander. Don't use the curb, but get nice and close to it, up against it there. And then just open up the corner as much as you can and use that exit curbing as we see here. Coming into this right-hander, you want to start braking just after that banner that goes over the top of the track. Just as the curbing starts, as you see there, in between them. Using that green curbing there on the apex of the first right-hander. Then just a little bit of a lift for the left-hander. Later apex for this left-hander to open up the exit. As you see, using all the curbing you can. Here I get a little bit of a correction, so go a little bit wide. But as you see, it's still valid because as long as you keep a tyre on that curbing, it allows you to use the runoff. Coming into this right-hander, brake at the start of the curbing on the left. Turn it in. Don't use the curbing on the right. Just get nice and close to it because it does unsettle the car. On the exit, you can use as much exit as you want as long as you don't touch the gravel. Keep a tyre on that curbing and you can use all the runoff as we see here. Late turn in, just try and minimise your steering inputs. Don't use that curbing on the right. I used a little bit too much of it as you saw, and it unsettled the car and cost me time. So just either try and use the very edge of it or don't use it at all. Coming for this left-hander, just minimise your steering inputs. It's quite a basic corner, just late turn in and use that exit curbing as well. Just open it up as much as you can. Coming into the final two corners here, you want to brake in between the 150-meter board and the 100-meter board. Hard braking point coming into this right-hander. As you see, all the way down into first, apex corner around about here, and then try and open up the final corner, turn in, just lift off the gas as you turn in, to get the rotation into the car. And then try and open up the exit as much as you can. As you see, as long as we keep a tyre on that curbing, you can use all the runoff. And that finishes up the lap of Spa. So now here's a lap without me talking through it for you. So I hope you enjoyed that guide, guys. Let me know what track you would like next in the comments, and as always, thank you for watching and see you again next time.